All right, so moving on to Tints, Tones, and Shades document. To find this document, you go to Classwork, okay, and it's right here at the top where it says Tints, Tones, and Shades. We need this JPEG here. So just like what we did with the last assignment, is you're going to click on the three dots at the top right-hand side. You're going to open a new window. And once that loads, you're going to look for that arrow pointing downwards in the top right-hand corner. You're going to click on that for it to download onto your computer, okay? And it shows up down here in the bottom left-hand side. You don't need to open it, but we do need to open it into Photoshop. So you'll open up Photoshop. So here I am. Here's the last assignment. I'm going to go to File, Open. I'm going to click on Downloads. And I'm going to find Tints, Tones, and Shades, so that it opens here up in Photoshop. So again, we're going to be using the paint bucket tool for this. There's three different types of colors, I guess, or what do I want to say? There's tints, tones, and shades of a color. Let's just put it that way. All right, tints are lighter values. Okay, so that's going to mean saturation number decreases. Tones are made with gray, so it's a color plus black and white. And that means the brightness and saturation, the numbers decrease. And then shades are darker values. That's creating numbers, brightness numbers decreases. And you're going to see what I mean in a second. So I'm going to use one of the colors that I used for the last document. And I'm going to go over here to color. And I want to open up that menu. So I'm going to double click on this here. I'm going to slide it over so I can see my document. And I can see all of this over here. We're going to look at these top three letters here. H is hue. Hue is the color that I'm actually on. So I'm on this color here. That's the hue 309. S is for saturation, and B is for brightness. So the first thing I want to do, I'm looking at tints. I'm not going to play anything with the letter B. I'm only going to change the letter S. So I actually don't even need to change that. I'm just going to leave that there, actually. Leave it on the H. We're just going to change the percentage for saturation. So let's change it so it's 100. Okay, it's going to change my color ever so slightly. I'm going to click OK. And then I'm just going to pour it in. Okay, again, make sure that your opacity is back at 100%. Okay, because sometimes it won't reset itself. So make sure it's at 100. Now I'm going to double click on this color again. This time I'm going to change the saturation to 80. So if you're looking at where the dot is going, I want you to pay attention in the direction that it's moving every time we change the number. So I'm going to click OK, and then pour that in. Okay, double click on it again, change this number. I actually don't even need to click OK. I'm going to change it to 60, because you're going to see the dot moves. Actually, I do need to click OK. Pour it in. Double click, change it to 40. So you notice that we're going down every 20 points. Okay, there's 40. Change the saturation to 20. And then 0 will be white. So pretty much what I'm showing you here is that anywhere in this box, you'll be able to create all the tints, tones, and shades of a color. So these are also going to be options for your circle Zentangle. So if we're looking at tones, it says made with gray. That means we're going to have to change the saturation and the brightness. So I'm going to change my saturation back to 100. I'm going to change my brightness to 100. I'm going to click OK, and then I'm going to click in that box. Okay, so now this time, I'm going to change them to 80. I'm going to change them both to 80. Click OK, and pour it in the box. Again, notice where the dot is moving as you are changing these numbers, right? 60, 60, click OK. And as you can see, as these numbers are getting lower, the number is getting darker. 40, 40, click OK. As you can see, the dot that's moving within the diagram here is moving in a diagonal. 20, oops, that's 30, 20, 20, okay. And then let's see what happens when I put 0, 0 underneath. 0, 0, puts it exactly right in the corner. Okay, so now you have this value scale. All right, shades are going to be darker. Okay, so it's brightness number. So going back into here, The only thing that we're going to change is the brightness number. Okay, so I'm going to put this back at 100. Okay, brightness is going to be at 100. Click OK. And that's where it's going to go. But now we're only changing the brightness from here on out. All right, so brightness is now going to come down to 80. Okay, and again, notice where that dot is moving in this box here. 60. 40. 20. And 0. All right, so just so you know what those numbers mean, okay, that's how we change those colors within Photoshop. So when we get to circles and tangle, okay, and that's later this week, you'll see tutorials pop up later this week, you'll be able to use any of these colors as well as any of these colors. If you'd like to play around with what these colors can do, you can definitely download Tints, Tones, and Shades down again and see what colors are used here. Okay, if you have any questions, email me.